because basically it was so dangerous they were putting a rocket ship inside this car body and firing it towards the audience. I'm there picking up my dream collection of cars, my Dodge Charger, the Eclipse, and the Dune truck, right? And I've worked out from a young age that it's not the people that run around and shout about what they do are the people that you don't really need to talk to, because they're talking because they're trying to show off. It's the people that stand in the background and observe what everyone's doing, because they've been there before, they've got the t-shirt, and they know who to talk to, when to talk, and how to precisely say just enough information to get you hooked. And I'm looking at this guy, and he bought the safe. This is the safe that is pulled behind the Dodge Chargers in one of the movies where they steal a safe and they drive it down the streets, right? And they buy this electric mock-up version of the safe from Fast and Furious. And I walk over and I say, nice to meet you. My name's Sam Hard from Hard Up Garage, or Garage as we say in England. I bought this, and this. I'm like, why did you buy the safe? He said, well, I didn't want to shout about it too much, but I'm Harry Hockley. I was like, Harry Hockley Motorsports out of Wales. He's like, yeah. Well, you're the guy that converted the Tyrese Gibson's Lamborghini into the Jaguar-powered version so they could maintain it well. And you were also the guy that made the electric Charger, correct? I made the electric Charger, made the electric Eclipse, and I also made a couple of the police cars as well as the safe. I've got a client that wants the electric motors and the battery out of the safe so I can sell them. It's like, cool. Well, when you're done with the safe, would you give me a call? Because I'll be interested in buying just what's left, the junk. He's like, no worries. And I took his business card, he took mine, and I didn't hear anything for months. I phoned up his daughter, I think her name was Jen, and said, hey, it's Sam Hard from Hard Up Garage down in Portsmouth. He's like, yeah. Do you still have the safe? Because I spoke to your dad, Harry, and he told me he was going to give me a call when he stripped it down. He said, it's sat in a container with all the rest of the crap that he promises he's going to get round to. So if you ever get the opportunity, give me a call. And at this point, I also get told that he's got the Lamborghini Murcielago running gear from Tyrese Gibson's, I think it's like a Lamborghini Murcielago LP6 something or other. As a Mopar muscle car kind of guy, I'm not really into the supercar numbers, so bear with me. But, I want to build a relationship with this guy. It's all about not hassling people, not phoning them, not being on the phone all the time, texting them and bothering them, and being a hound. I left it. Finally, I get the call. Sam, it's Jen. I was like, hi. If I got her name wrong, then I'm really sorry. And so she says, hi, it's Harry's daughter. I'm like, hi. Well, my dad's out of town. Can you come and make me a reasonable offer for this Lamborghini gear in the safe? Because it's sat around, it's doing my head in. I'm like, okay, no worries. So I go up there, and he says he wants like a big figure of money. I'm like, no way. So you not heard of my garage? I'm Hard Up Garage, Hard Up Garage. I'm broke. Like, I'll offer you this figure, and it's like lowballing the hell out of them, And really, they've just got a load of parts that they can't use. It's a load of scraps sit around. They've had it for years. They can't do nothing with it. They say, I'll do you a deal. You get here by 12 o'clock tomorrow, you can have it. So I load up a trailer, I load up a car, and we leave at like 2 a.m. We drive there. I get there for like midday, like just gone. I buy the Lamborghini running gear. I buy the Buick Grand National running gear from the car that rolls down the hill in one of the movies. I then also buy the safe. I don't need the safe. It's completely irrelevant. It's completely stupid. And one day I would like to convince my lady to have a cuddle in it, and then it'd be the only time in the world you can actually say you have safe sex. So I buy the safe, I buy the Lamborghini running gear, and I buy the Buick Grand National running gear. The best bit is she goes, oh, there's a scrap 6-cylinder engine over there in running gear that we can't sell for crap, because no one wants a 6-cylinder in England. It's like buying a 4-cylinder Pinto engine and putting it in your Lambo. It's completely wasted. I walk in there, and my heart just goes, see this big turbo hanging off the front of it. It's got the downpipe. I got the 4-link rear end. I've got the 4-speed automatic transmission, which is like the holy grail, only used in like the GNX. And I'm like, this has got to be something special. I give them like $500 for the running gear. And I'm like, cool, just throw it in the truck, load it all up. I had like police wheels from the cars that chased in the safe. They took them off, put different wheels on it. And then I find these wheels. They're like hubcaps, right? And they're off a car called a Lykan Hypersport. And I didn't know that at all. I just found these little hubcaps, and I'm like, these are different. They've got like a 5-bolt fixing on them, but they look really weird. They're like a 22-inch wheel, very ornate, very different. So I put this post out on Facebook. Does anyone know what these wheels are off? And like, well, they look like Lykan wheels. And I'm like, freaking hell's a Lykan? Lykan's like a mold, like a fungus, right? So I'm Googling it, and I find this car called a Lykan Hypersport, which is built by a company called W Motors in Dubai. And these wheels are identical, apart from the original Lykan wheels have like a center hub bolt as opposed to a 5-bolt. They make these wheels that are made obviously to look like a Lykan Hypersport wheel, but they're not. They're like a 5-bolt fixing, like a Chevy 5x127 fitment, and they're useless. One's got a crack through it, the other one is just completely useless. And they must have fit these wheels to the car to make it look, and then gave up on them, just put a set of normal wheels on it. And I'm like, whatever happened to the Lykan? And I was like, well, there's only 2 Lykans made for the movie, and they were both made under the license of W Motors. So there were real panels that were used on the Lykan, either remolds or the actual panels themselves, so that they had a real replica of the car endorsed by W Motors. So it wasn't a copy or a fraudulent copy or a remanufactured version. And one of them was put on a Porsche Boxster chassis, which was used to drive around the arena show, because obviously in the movie, the Lykan was used to fire from one building to the other. In the live show, it was used to take off the train onto the dune truck and unloaded and then driven around. But the end part of the show was a Lykan got fired out of the front of a plane. For what reason? Because I'm pretty sure in no Fast and Furious movie, a Lykan Hypersport was flown out of the front of the nose of a plane. Like, completely irrelevant. I said, where's that one? And they're like, you don't want that. It's just a framework with a body, a set of brakes on it, and it was remote controlled. Had a big firework inside it that fired it off a ramp. It landed and looked pretty cool. They only used it for the first ever version and the first ever showing that Vin Diesel was at of Fast and Furious Live, because basically it was so dangerous they were putting a rocket ship inside this car body and firing it towards the audience. So after the first show, the insurance company were like, no way. A few people robbed parts from it. It had these big Fox shock absorbers on it. They got thrown out. The doors were taken off. The rear end was taken off. It was thrown on a scrap pile. After speaking to Harry Hockley, I said, what happened to the Lykan? He goes, my buddy owns that at the filming company up in Lincolnshire. It's like 8 hours. That's like traveling from one end of England to the other. It's the most driving I've ever done in my recovery truck in my life. He's like, it's sat on his scrap pile. So I phoned him. I said, hello, my name's Sam Hard. Once again, like, be polite, be professional, show that you're a man of your word. I hear you've got like a fiberglass body that you used in Fast and Furious Live. And a lot of these people, please take into consideration, aren't very happy when you mention Fast and Furious Live, because a lot of people didn't get paid. The company went bust. Not a lot of people are liking to talk about it because they lost money. I was like, do you want to sell it? And he was like, well, it's on my scrap pile. Come look at it. If you want it, give me scrap money. Give him like $350 for it, I turn up and it is on the top of a scrap pile. The suspension's all dropped down. It's on like 20-inch magnesium wheels. Like, these wheels are like a couple of grand. I'm like, cool. There's no doors. There's no boot or trunk. It's not really a trunk. It's just a rear shell that pushes on the back. And I'm like, where the hell am I ever going to get a rear panel and doors for a Lykan? Like, this is just a waste of money, but oh well. He says, if I was you, just root around. If you can find stuff, then cool. So me and my buddy, Martin, we're rooting around the scrap pile. I climb on top of this container where, I don't know if anyone in the world knows, in England but there's a comedian called Rowan Atkinson. And he owns a TV show called Mr. Bean. And there's a little Mini, and his joke would be drive around in this little tiny Mini. Well, there's an original Mini from the Mr. Bean production on top of this container from filming back in the 80s. I'm up there taking pictures like a little schoolboy, right? So I wouldn't be who I am today, the crazy, stupid Brit, if it wasn't for Rowan Atkinson and Mr. Bean, right? And next to this frickin' 1960s Mini are 2 Lykan doors. And I'm like, oh my God, this is meant to be. I get these doors, I take them down. As I'm climbing down, I fall down this crevice between the containers. I hit the floor like a sack of hurt myself and crying like a little girl, and there's the rear end to the Lykan. And I'm like, there it is. Everything has fallen into place. The guy gets a forklift truck, dumps it on my truck, talk him into selling a load of other props, and I get it back to the workshop, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with this piece of crap, And I get some 2x4, and I make up 2 shock absorbers front and rear with a 2x4, so the suspension's up in the air, because it looked like a lowrider, it had no suspension. It doesn't steer, it's like a locked chassis, it's designed to go forward. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, I've kind of hit gold. I've got a green Mitsubishi Eclipse that I can't drive, it looks good. I've got a 1970 Dodge Charger that I can't drive, that looks good. I've got an Oshkosh Dune truck that I can't drive, that looks good. And then I've got the Lykan Hypersport that looks good, but I still can't use. In the movie, they made 5 or 6 of the Lykans that fired from the building to the other building, correct? So like in the movie process, obviously it wasn't done, it was fired into a bag of beans, that kind of stuff. When they did the Fast and Furious live production, they needed to make 2 of these also endorsed W Motors Lykans to just show that there is a Lykan in the movie. So there was 2, only 2 ever made for the UK production, but also licensed under Fast and Furious Live. So it's still a licensed body from W Motors. When they got them, they weren't allowed, all the molds were destroyed. So when they made all the molds for the car, they went for a bandsaw. They cut all the molds up because that was the deal. Lykan would endorse this product for Fast and Furious Live as long as it was all cut up, right? But when the company goes bust, therefore, the whole rules change because Fast and Furious Live don't own this anymore. The people that built it don't own it anymore. All the pieces are owned by the liquidation company, which are trying to raise money for the people that have lost money by building these cars. So when you end up with a Lykan Hypersport that is like a $3 million car, and you're from England and you own a really crap backstreet garage in England, yeah, and you've got a Lykan, the phone starts ringing and people are not happy. I had this guy phone me as, "Hi, I own your car." "No, you don't. I own the car." No, I'm one of the representatives for the people that built that car, and we own that car. So cool, well, I have a piece of documentation that proves different because the company went bust and I purchased it from the company who liquidated it. "Well, okay, we'd like to buy it back." I was like, "Okay, well, here's my number. Give me a call." The phone doesn't ring. I don't hear a call from them. I message them on Instagram. I'm trying to get cash. I'm hard up, you know. Don't hear nothing. And then I reach out to my buddy in the States, Rob Pitts. He's like, "I got a guy that might be interested in some of your running gear for the Lamborghini." I was like, "Cool." I start talking to him and I mentioned the Lykan. He's like, "Lykan? You have a Lykan?" I was like, "I got a Lykan. Sam from Hard Up Garage in England, backstreet garage, got no money to my name. Well, I got a Lykan Hypersport. I'm bad. I got a supercar at 31 and turn over maybe 70, 80 grand a year. I'm bad." It's like, "Cool. Well, I kind of want to put it on my roof." I was like, "Cool, no worries." And you know what? I probably would have given it to them. If they said, "Look, we'll fly you out to where it was built and show you how the cars were built," like, it wouldn't cost them no money. I would have probably given it to them as a gift, as a publicity stunt, you know? But when you start talking to people that you get on with and you respect, you know what? Money isn't that important. It's about building relationships and moving forward. And if I can give that bad piece of bodywork to someone that's going to do something with it, why not? Let's make it happen.
This month's car stories are sponsored by The Ridge. The Ridge makes a line of wallets and bags that are designed to be minimalist and help us just take with us the things we actually need. So check out the link in the description below for a discount and buy one for yourself, or they make great Christmas presents. And be sure to let them know how thankful you are for their support of VINwiki.